The deputy military spokesman of the Thai Army, Colonel Wintai Suvari, has called for media to strengthen its common understanding of the country's political crisis.
The chief of police just ask for your understanding. Please do not, make something or criticize something that would make bad feeling toward those persons. We just want to do this. We want to do this only for making the situation conducive for the council to deal with the current situation, and we don't mean to downgrade anyone. And the adjustment that's been made is coming from a common understanding among the concerned people.
And now for more on the situation over in Bangkok, let's go to our correspondent Martin Lowe in the city. Martin, hello there. Thailand's new army junta has ordered dozens of activists, academics and also journalists to surrender themselves to military authorities. What's the intention of the move?
Well, first of all, let me just say that it's good to be talking to you back live and on screen, because earlier today the military authorities cut all the satellite links from here in Thailand to news organisations, so we weren't able to broadcast. We've been reporting to you from Bangkok earlier today by telephone, but those satellite uplinks have now been restored to the media, though we have been told by the military authorities not to say anything critical of what they're doing, nor to show any pictures of any resistance or of any confrontation between protesters and troops. So very much the army tightening its grip on what's being disseminated from outside of Thailand. As you said, a number of journalists and academic and leading radicals have been ordered to go and report to the army today. This is all part of the army coup leaders' crackdown on any opposition. They're trying to prevent any opinion formers putting out comments which they believe would unite people to oppose the coup. So they're very much trying to keep things locked down. And as you mentioned in the introduction, this follows the detention a couple of days ago of many leading politicians and academics, including the former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. She's now been held in detention for 2-3 days, and the army authorities have said that she will continue to be held for up to a week. They say it's to give people time to think. What they mean by that is it's to let people realize that the army will not stand for any opposition to their takeover, and people who try to organize any resistance do so at their peril. Now this comes just one day after the army has also now dissolved the upper house of parliament here in Thailand, the Senate. They of course dismissed the government 3 days ago. Now they've dismissed the Senate. All organs of democracy have now been dismantled, and total power rests in the hands of the army coup leader, General Prayuth, who's declared himself acting prime minister and has now given himself powers that far exceed any civilian elected prime minister in normal times.
Well, Martin, the protesters, on the other hand, have continued to defy a ban by the military on large gatherings. Would you please tell us more about that?
Yeah, there have been a growing number of protests and demonstrations around Bangkok and elsewhere in Thailand against the coup. Another one is planned for today, quite close to where I'm talking to you from. Already from early this morning, soldiers have encircled a shopping centre, which was to be the venue for a protest later today. We don't know whether the protest will be able to go ahead. Clearly the army have come out in advance to try and prevent it, and it follows a fairly serious demonstration last night at a place called Victory Monument, which is a gathering point here in Bangkok, where a large body of anti-coup protesters confronted police and soldiers. At one stage, protesters charged armed soldiers who for a moment looked as though they might resist, but then chose to fall back in an effort to defuse the situation. But it was very tense for quite a long time. At one point, up to 500 protesters were facing up to the army before they eventually dispersed. Now, all of this, of course, is in defiance of an order by the military authorities that any gathering of more than 5 people is now prohibited. All of these protesters face a possible arrest and imprisonment if they are detained by the military council, who's now in control here in Thailand.
Thank you very much indeed. Martin Lowe reporting from Bangkok.